Madam Speaker, I would like to note the presentation of the UN Security Council's reform proposal for the 81st session of the General Assembly. The document is a traditional technical document. Its main element is support for the format of intergovernmental negotiations, which remains a unique platform for discussing all reform aspects in accordance with the decision of the International Cooperation Agreement No. 627. In order to continue the progressive work within the framework of the UN Security Council, Russia supported the project as presented. At the same time, we would like to make a number of important remarks on the updated coordinating text, the link to which is provided in the draft resolution. We understand how complex and delicate the work for coordinators is. The annual update of this document, which is intended to reflect their vision of what the positions of member states on various reform clusters agree and disagree on. We also understand the pressure placed on them, taking into account the attempts of many states to achieve progress in promoting certain parameters, even when it does not reflect the real situation of the participants' positions. However, let us be honest. In order to satisfy the interests of certain states or groups of states in this work, giving what is desirable for what is real, this is an extremely dangerous practice that threatens the collapse of intergovernmental negotiations, which means that the prospects for the implementation of the reform of the Council as such are at stake. In particular, we note that this year coordinators have included the definition of Eastern Europe in the annual text as an underrepresented region in the Security Council. Moreover, this thesis is presented as a unifying element, i.e., an element with which all the participants of the EPP allegedly agree. This roughly contradicts the course of the discussion at the current session. The inappropriate and complementary assessments of the pact on the name of the future contained in it. In conjunction with the vast majority of other delegations, Russia is unwaveringly in favor of the expansion of representation in the bodies of developing countries as a result of the reform. We regularly remind you that the simultaneous inclusion of developed countries in the Security Council, that is, so-called countries with a transitional economy, and especially those of them that adhere to NATO and the European Union's bloc approaches, will inevitably push the UN further into a colonial past. There will be no qualitative changes in the work of the Security Council under such a scenario. Western countries will continue to use their quantitative advantage and strive to stamp out decisions that are beneficial to them, regardless of the opinion of other member states. Such a development of the reform process loses all meaning. In this regard, I must remind you that the co-coordinator text is the property of its authors, not an objective reflection of the course of the negotiations. We hope that the necessary changes to the document will be made as a result of the work of the 81st session, so that it is presented in a balanced form. Russia, in turn, is ready to continue working together with other member states in the interests of preparing a comprehensive reform project that would benefit from the significant support of the MPP participants. It is optimal that such a significant decision is subsequently adopted by consensus. Thank you for your attention,